Good morning. It's 4:39. I don't know if you can see that. I just woke up. This is how I start every day. The first thing I do is I wake up, got to make the bed. I'm watching my buddy's pug, so he's excited. I make the bed. I got my water. Well, off camera, I just completely wrecked my toe. Completely wrecked my toe in the bed, and I never do that, so that was fun. When I get up at 4:40, 4:30 actually, and then I grab my water, make the bed, of course, got to make the bed. And then turn the AC off. Keep it at 61 degrees when I sleep, so pretty freaking cold. And then I'll come out here. I'll take my blood pressure medicine first thing. And then normally I'm going to go in my little office room and I'll read. I'll show you guys. I'll read my devotional. And then I'll read Transurfing in 78 Days. If you guys had seen that on my Instagram, I read that. I've read that like 2 or 3 times. I'm really liking that book. So just been reading it over and over. Then also, I'll read 15 minutes in the Bible too. And then after that, I'll make breakfast and I'll show you guys that as well. And I'm going to talk about, why I do all this because I think it's important. And I've gone back and forth between morning routines and not morning routines. And I've had long morning routines. I've had short morning routines. I've had no morning routines. I've had times with God, times without God. So I want to break it down because I think I finally figured it out. This is the perfect morning routine that is not a super long routine. It's not a super short routine, but it's enough to get my mindset right, get me ready for the day, and it doesn't hinder me at all. It takes about 30 minutes and then I'm ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading because I'm super tired right now, and that'll help wake me up. I'm going to read. I'm going to drink I try to drink 40 ounces while I read of water to get the body going. Water is great for you, and it's like a natural caffeine. If you don't believe me, try drinking 40 ounces of cold water in the morning while you read or something, while you wake up, within 30, 40 minutes, and you'll feel really, really awake. It's like magic. It's crazy because the body needs water. So if you give it water, feel more awake. It's crazy. And then today I'm going to take this little guy out because I think he's got to go. And then I'll read and I'll be with you guys in a minute. Okay, as I was just reading my devotional here, there's something that I wanted to share with you guys. Today's is about wasted life, and it's Joyce Meyer. So she's talking about how basically early on when she was starting everything out, she was worried about money, and her husband Dave was not. He would be playing with the kids and just having a good time. And she would always be like, "How are you not worrying?" And so she goes on to say, she was at the kitchen table for at least an hour, worrying, fretting, and trying to figure out how to pay her bills, but they just didn't have enough money. Dave didn't say it, but she realized what he meant. If we can't change anything, why are you wasting time, your life, trying to fix things that cannot be fixed? And then she goes on to say that she shouldn't have done that. Basically, she wasted a lot of life. She wishes she didn't do that. And she says, God met our financial needs sometimes through amazing miracles, and all my worry was for nothing. I wasted precious time in my life, part of the wonderful, abundant life Jesus offered to me. I have it now and I'm grateful, but I wish I never did that, basically, right? And it's interesting because I used to read this all the time and be like, yeah, but money stuff you can fix. But here's the thing. I experienced this earlier this year with coaching. When I finally figured out that I feel like firmly in my whole heart, with my whole heart and my mind, they're aligned, right? That this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm very good at working out. That's why I'm the way I am. I'm very good with nutrition and things like that. I'm very good with leadership, and that's why I should be helping other people, pull them out of these holes, right? Get them healthy and things like that. And I believe that's my mission from God. Now, maybe I'm wrong and the Lord will put me somewhere else, but I feel like my heart and my mind are aligned, and I don't feel like I'm wrong, and this is why. So earlier in the year, as many of you may know, I tell the story a lot because it's something that I'm proud of, but it's something that's very true, is I gave everything away for free. Like Alex Hormozy preaches, I did everything for free. I had to restart my business. I had done this once before, but I had done it under someone else who was trying to help me get clients and stuff. This is the first time I did it on my own. So I gave everything away for free. to get testimonials. You know, if you watch Alex Formosa, you understand. But basically build the business up from the ground, from nothing. And I made $0 in January, and I made $330 in February, and then I made $1,200 in March. And I can't wait to share at the end of the year how much that's grown, because it's absolutely insane right now, and we're only in July. Well, it's actually August 1st, but I just closed out July, my biggest month by far that I've ever done, but like even higher than the military, like military used to pay me. So that's crazy, and it's a blessing, and it's all God, 100%. And the reason I say that is because there were a lot of times that I was really stressed out, and I was like, man, I don't know if this is gonna work, right? But it was just weird, because I also had I went back to church, and I really felt like this was my mission, and I got closer to God. And so just in my whole heart, this time was different. I just believed, like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I just got to keep my head down and keep doing it, having a good time doing it, and God will provide. And he did. I mean, he absolutely did. I mean, it went from 300 to 1,200, and then it just kind of multiplied from there. And it's crazy. So I can resonate with that heavily. I know it's not an easy thing to do, right? Because bills are real. Like, I had bills too. And those of you that know, like, my girlfriend and I broke up too. So, like, it's not a pity party. We used to split the rent. We used to split things, right? The bills, we used to split them. So effectively, like, my bills doubled and my income went to zero. So it was just a very interesting time. And I had to renew a lease, and I was worried about renewing the lease because I was like, man, I don't really have the finances to show them that I can take this on. So I thought I was literally gonna lose my apartment. I didn't know it was gonna happen, but I just focused on God, and, like, for real, I just focused on God, and I just had this, like, almost felt like an idiot. You almost feel dumb because you believe it so hard. I was like, yeah, I'm not worried. Like, I'm not worried. Like, if I get kicked out, I get kicked out. We'll figure it out. If I lose all my money and I'm under the bridge, like, I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll find a friend's house that I could sleep on their couch or something. Like, worst case scenario, I'll have to go back home. Like, but I'll figure it out. Like, it's gonna be okay. And not just I'll figure it out, but, like, I trust God with my life. That's really what I was saying. Is just, I believe this is what I'm supposed to do. I trust God with my life, and he will provide. And he did. And he does every single time. And it's just like, he just delivers over and over and over. But you just got to trust him. And I just trust him blindly. And I'm just like, it is hard. It is hard, because the back of your mind is screaming, like, but we have bills to pay. But you got to be like, calm down. God is definitely bigger than bills. He's definitely bigger than money. That's just paper. He's bigger than bills, bigger than people. I mean, the most amazing things can happen to you if you just trust him. And that is honestly a huge reason as to why I read the devotional every day. Like, right there is a perfect reason. Like, because now I read that, and that was an awesome reminder to just trust him and keep going, because it's almost like discipline. Like, I've let God go before. Like, I've had good experiences, never as good as this. I've never had such a strong connection with him as I do now. But I've built a strong-ish connection, and then I've let him go. And then I've built a strong connection, and then I let him go. And this time, like, I'm not. And that's why I read this every day, to make sure I stay locked in and stay focused on God. Because with God, we can do anything. Without God, we can do nothing. I just got done reading here, Transurfing in 78 Days. I never remember the title, which is funny. But there's something I wanted to read to you guys, because I think it relates all the time. This is called the Master's Mindset. People paint the layer of their personal world in the darkest shades with their own negative attitude. The mirror simply states the content of the attitude and ignores your slant on it. It doesn't matter how you're thinking about something. What matters is that you're thinking about it in the first place. Whether you like the reflection or not, you are still thinking about it. Only the theme of your thoughts has weight. From this moment on, make it a rule to keep your thought pattern and mindset under control. Whatever happens, turn everything into a positive. Fix your attention ultimately on what you want to have. With time, you will create a very comfortable personal reality, Prepare yourself for a magnificent cascade of pleasing events. And when you think about this, like, this is a very different kind of book, so you might be kind of confused. It basically talks about how, essentially the whole book is about how the world is a mirror, right? And however you view the world is how the world is. Like that saying, perception is reality. And they used to say that in the military all the time, because it was like, it doesn't matter if you did something wrong. Perception is reality. And you're like, yeah, that's really stupid. Like, that's dumb. But the more you think about it, the more it's true. If you perceive me to be a big, dumb bodybuilder idiot in the gym, then in your world, I am a big, dumb idiot bodybuilder. In your world. In my world, I'm very smart, right? I'm up at 4:30. I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke cigarettes or nicotine. I don't even drink coffee. I go to church every week, right? Like, it's early, so I'm having a hard time thinking. But, I consider myself to be pretty successful as far as like having control over my emotions, being disciplined, being able to get a task done when it needs to be done, things like that. But all that to say, I used to think very negatively about the world. I used to think like the world hates me, the rich people are lucky, like I just can't figure this out. But also, if the book talks about if you lower the importance of things, you can effectively reach your goals earlier, in the sense that like, if in your mind right now, $10,000 a month is like, you don't know anyone that makes that, it's like the most impossible thing to do, then it's going to be very hard. I'm not saying you can't get there, but like, you're setting your ceiling at 10K. If my goal is $1 million a month, then for me to try to hit $20,000 or $30,000 a month is like pennies, right? It's just perception. And the thing is, guys, think about it. Money is paper, okay? Like, God can provide money like that. And the point of all of this really is just, that is why it's so important for me to read my devotional, read the Bible for 15 minutes, and then read something like this. Normally this takes 30 minutes, so normally I'm done by 5:30 and I'm cooking food. I think right now it's about 6. That's because I take my buddy's dog Otis out, and then so obviously that took some time. And then I've been talking to you guys as well, trying to make this because I want to show how important a morning routine is like this. Now, to give you some context, I had done morning routines where like, you go outside and you ground and you come inside and you take a cold plunge and you read this and you read for 30 minutes and you pray and you meditate for 10 and you do this and you do, and like, that's so long that I'm literally sitting here, I'm not paying attention. I'm just like, I need to get this done so I can get my day started. Like, too long. And I had also done it on the other end of the aspect where I had just abandoned all morning routines, because honestly, I was and I still love Alex Hormozi. One of the things that's cool about Alex is he doesn't need a morning routine. Like he's someone that just doesn't need his mind to be set up in the morning. And I respect it because he's a tank, but I don't understand it. I can't, because for me, and maybe it's just the way my mind is, there's so many, like, I'll just call them demons that attack me when I get up. It's like, you're a fraud, you're not good enough, like you're nobody cares what you have to say. Like, these things still happen. These things happened this morning. Why are you going to film this? Nobody cares. And that's the thing. But that's just the devil. The devil is trying to keep you confined. Getting up and making the bed, that's a nice small win. Drinking 40 ounces, like, I don't know if you can see, this is 64 ounces. That's almost gone now, okay? Very important. And then just getting your mind primed, getting your body primed for the day. Then I read my devotional. Then I read 15 minutes in the Bible. And then I read 10 pages in Transurfing in 78 Days. And that just gets me primed and ready to go. And now I'm going to make breakfast. I'm going to sit down and eat. And then what I do is right after I eat, I just roll right into work, whatever time that is. I just get to work because I don't got to clock in, which is amazing. I'm going to show you guys what I'm eating right now. I'm also going to have a different video, full in depth, because my diet's changed completely. All right, I just finished cooking up breakfast. We got, what do we got? We got 3 eggs. We got 3 turkey bacon. We got some oatmeal with some strawberries and some syrup. And I'll show you guys what it looks like. Now, I'm no chef, all right? Somehow I burned the turkey bacon a little bit on the pan, and then that kind of made the eggs look like that, but this is what we're working with. And let me tell you, my old breakfast was like 4 eggs, 4 bacon, and 4 toast, and that shit was getting so old. So old. So I'm gonna sit down. I'm like absolutely starving. It's now 6:30. I'm gonna sit down, eat this real fast, and then there's one other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about with the morning routine. Just got done eating my breakfast, and I wanted to share something with you guys. This is the last thing that I do every morning before I get started. So, well, actually, one other thing I do right before I get started is this right here. Okay, you gotta be happy. Don't forget that. All right, so what I do is I come up to this board right here, this whiteboard, and I write down the next couple things I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do my 5-4-5 and my story. That's on Instagram. If you see that, that's when it's just a time lapse of me doing my 5-4-5, which is about what I'm about to show you guys. Then I'll answer DMs, then I'll answer messages, then I'll look at my sheets. That's for my online clients. Got to see who I got to talk to today. Then I go for a walk, and if you follow me on Instagram, that's when you see me. I usually do like a walk and talk, like a quick little drop knowledge, and I walk around the block basically, get some steps in. And that's what I do, and that's how I keep myself on track, so that when I'm done eating breakfast, I don't mess around on my phone or anything. In fact, I wish I could show you guys, but I actually turn the phone, this is my phone right here, but I turn it on grayscale, and then I turn it on do not disturb. 1, so it's boring as hell to look at, and 2, so no one can talk to me, because this is my time. So then I just go right in, knock out the 5-4-5, knock out my DMs, knock out my messages, knock out my sheets, and then I go for a walk. So I actually already did all this stuff because I wanted to get it done. Now, but I just want to go back and show you what I wrote here because it's very important. And it's definitely key. This is definitely something that I wish I had done earlier in life. For a long time, I thought journaling was annoying or whatever. Like with typing it, I really like it. And I know some people say it's not as effective as writing it, but like if I wrote it, I would just stop short because I'd be sick of writing, and I write really slow. And I'm left-handed, and it gets all over my hand, and it's it's a mess. So I like typing it. It's something that I've been really, really consistent with. And so that's how I'm going to keep doing it. But I wanted to share this with you guys. Basically, here's a look at it. So this is what I do, right? This is for my stories, my reels, and all that stuff. These are the comments. I like to keep track of how many days I've not been smoking weed. And then how many days after my last call with my mentor, 35, because I'm working on stuff. We don't talk all the time. I get a bunch of tasks done, and then we call, and then we regroup, and then we keep going. Day 66 of prep. I just like to keep track of some things. But this right here is the time I wake up, 4:30 every single day, and then I make my bed like I showed you guys. Water and blood pressure, like I showed you guys. I take my vitamins, and then I read my Bible for 15 minutes, and I do my devotional and stuff like that. Okay, down here, this is, let me see, the journal entry. All right, so these are all my goals, essentially. I'll book 50 sales calls over the next 120 days and practice improving my close rate until I consistently close at 50% or higher. This is about going to church. This is about this is a spiritual goal, right? This is a monetary goal, okay? This is about getting closer to God and not using vices, essentially. So not going back to smoking weed, not going back to smoking, not cigarettes, but vapes and stuff like that. And then this is what I want to be known for. But this is also my mission, right? I want to be known for my hard work and my dedication to my craft. It says in here that, I'm just summarizing, guys, but it says in here that I believe this is my mission from God, and I help other people achieve being 1% better each and every single day. I will not fail. I will not quit. With God by my side, anything is possible. Spelled that wrong, no big deal. And then this is about relationships. I'm an affectionate person, and basically just saying that when I care about someone, I let them know, and I tell them because it's important. We're only on the earth for, maybe 100 years. And even then it's so fast. It goes so fast. So you just gotta tell the ones you love that you love them. And it's important. And then I write my journal entry here, which is down here. You can see this is 8-1. And so that's the journal entry. And I'm not going to read it all. I guess if you wanted, you're more than welcome to pause that and read it if you want. But to summarize it, I'm just talking about how good God has been to me. I talked about it in this video, but I started with 0, and I literally have never had a better month, no matter what job I had. The only job I made more in 1 month was real estate. That's because I sold 6 houses in 1 month and I made like 23K. But the thing with real estate is it wasn't that exciting because it was like, I was so hit or miss. I was like, I sold 6 houses, then I sold 3 houses, then I sold 0, then 0, then 0, then 1. Like, it just, like, 23K sounds cool, but it was like a fluke. Not a fluke. I mean, I worked my ass off. And then I just go on to say, like, how this is the first time in my life how clear my vision is and how much I can tell that this is my purpose with God. And then I go on to talk about how I have 14 months left. So those of you that don't know, I re-signed a lease here in my apartments, and I re-signed it for 15 months. This was my first month of renewed lease. And I'm giving myself 14 months to buy a Lamborghini Urus and move the fuck out of Oklahoma. So I'm looking at anywhere on the East Coast as far as beaches. I want to live in a beach town and I want to be on the coast. I really like Florida because I like the weather. I like the heat. I like the humidity. I like that stuff. And I love the beach, right? The beaches there are beautiful. And then also to go home from Pittsburgh, it's always a straight flight and it's only 2 hours. But I mean, it's just like, this is so important. The reason that the morning routine is so important is because a lot of people, they wake up, they have no North Star. They have no compass. They just aimlessly wander, right? And if your morning looks different all the time, you probably don't know what you're gonna do. And I know some people watching may have kids or you may have pets but you can make this work. If you want to make it work, you can. I mean, you have kids, just involve them in the morning routine. Like when I had Louie, and I know he's just a dog, but like I knew I was going to get up and walk Lou. And then I was going to do this. And then I was going to, eat breakfast. And then I was going to feed Louie. And then I was going to walk Louie again or whatever, right? Like just fit them in there. And I know sometimes it's unpredictable, but that's why the routine is amazing, right? If you can get up at 4:30 every day, that's mint, like perfect. And especially if you're single or even if you just have a wife or just have a girlfriend, like there's no excuse. And if your excuse is because your girlfriend or your wife is sleeping, that's a lame ass excuse. Like if you think they don't want a high value man, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. But it's just like so many of us, and I used to do this. I used to get up with no routine. And guess what? Because I had no routine, I didn't really care if I got up at 4:30 or 6:30 because it was like, well, I don't really have to read the Bible. I don't have to do a devotional. I don't have to do anything. I'll just get up, wet my hair, and then get in the car and go train somebody. But like you don't feel centered. You don't get the same effectiveness out of your day. It's a lot like, and I know we've all done it, and it's kind of a lame metaphor, but it does work. It still works. That's why it's so good to use. But it's like when you go to the grocery store on a whim, like let's say you go to the gym and you're like, I know I need to go to the grocery store. So you go, but you don't have your list and you get a bunch of stuff, but you come home and you didn't get it all. This is how it happens. This is a lack of preparation, a lack of focus. And I've done that too. And then you end up going to the store every day and you're never getting it done. Now just take that concept and apply it to your life. You're waking up every day, but you're not moving forward towards your goals at all. Like if you don't like where you're at, whether that's the way you look, the way you feel, the way your relationships are, like you need to make extreme changes and you need to fix it. Otherwise, you won't. That's the thing. Like so many people are okay with being complacent. And when I talk to a lot of my clients, it's honestly not that you guys are okay with being complacent. It's that you're afraid of change and you're afraid, but like say it out loud, because I had someone ask me this the other day, or actually it was probably a month or so ago. And they were like, Mike, how are you going to keep up with all the content? How are you going to keep up with providing value? How are you going to, and I'm like, so what you're saying is you're afraid of essentially, now you have to take this with a grain of salt because that person was really talking to themselves. They were thinking, oh my gosh, if I did that, how would I keep up with it? And they can't think why or how. The thing is, what you're saying is I'm afraid of changing myself into being the man I should be because then I'll have to be a great man every day. Like, see how silly it is when you say that? It's like, well, if I get up at 4:30 every day, then you'll get up at 4:30 every day. Then I'll have to get a lot of stuff done. Yeah, then you'll get a lot of stuff done. Then I'll have to be productive. Yeah, then you'll, like, it's all in how you view it. It's like, why would you not want to be the best version of yourself? Would you rather sleep until 8 a.m., throw your little khakis and your tie on, barely stumble out of the door, rush in the car, spill your coffee, hit traffic, go into the office pissed off, hate your job from 9 to 5, and then at 6 p.m. you're cracking open a beer, or even if you hit the gym 5:30 or 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and then you come home, crack a beer, you have a steak, you think you're doing the thing, you hang out with your wife, or you just hang out with your girlfriend, or by yourself, and you think you're making waves in the world, and you're just so tired, you don't want to work on anything, and then you go to bed at 10 or 11, staying up, either watching videos on Instagram or watching bullshit on Netflix or just whatever it is. I mean, you can piss your time away so easily today. It's crazy. And then next thing you know, you're tired and you're in bed, and then you wake up the next day and you do it all again. And I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I'm telling you guys, I've done it. And one day turned into 2 years. And that's how fast it goes. And then you look back and then it starts to become, well, shit, I should have started 2 years ago. And then you don't want to start because you should have started 2 years ago. So then you wait another year of not starting because you're thinking about how you should have started earlier. And now you're 3 years in and you still haven't started. And so it's just no matter what your past looks like, no matter what's happened, no matter who you used to be or who you are now, you don't have to accept that. You can change it absolutely. And I know for a fact that this routine will pull your ass out. It will pull your head out of your ass. I absolutely believe that because it did mine. I literally went from, not kidding, I would sleep until 7:30, 8 a.m. I would eat breakfast slowly. I'd watch an hour of TV while I ate breakfast. No bullshit. Then I would get ready for the gym. I would eat again really fast. And the meals were too close, so the timing was stupid. I would be like, oh, well, I'm eating my pre-workout, so I might as well watch more TV. So that's an hour and a half of TV. And then I would go to the gym with my training partners at 10 a.m. And then I would work out until noon. And then I would piss some more time away. And then at 1 o'clock, I'd come home. And then I'd get a shower. And then I'd have to eat again, right? So I'd throw on Netflix and eat again. And at this point, it's 2 p.m. I've done nothing. And then, it's 2 p.m. I got to leave at 2:30 because I got to train my clients at 3, 4, and 5. So I was like, what are you doing? And then I come home at 6:30 and I'd have to do my online stuff. And then I end up staying up late because I did nothing. I pissed my time away all morning. And it's just and I did that for months. And then it's well, why is my business not growing? Because you're not growing. And then when I finally doubled down and I got back to my roots, I started thinking man, how do I fix this? And then for another month, I was well, I'll get up at 6:30 and then 6 and then 5:30. And that didn't happen either. And then I eventually looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, you motherfucker, dude, you better get this shit together because especially right now, you have to think, I worked for myself. And I'm if you can't get this schedule together, you will be broke in 6 months and out on the street. And that was very real. And I was okay, I got to figure this out. So I started thinking, when was I most productive in my life? In the military. And then I started thinking about what I needed to do to get my mind right. And God helped me as well because I prayed about it. And this is it. I was I have to get up at 4:30 so I can start shit early. I have to read my devotional so I can stay centered on what's important in my life spiritually. I have to read the Bible so I can get closer to God, even closer than... A devotional is cool because it gets you, it points your North Star. It's that's a good lesson for today. I'll think about that. But then reading the Bible is you're connecting with God. You're getting closer to him. You're reading stories about him, right? That's important. And then the Transurfing in 78 days, I like that because it's changing my mind. It's changing how I look at the world. Now I look at the world as a direct reflection of my mind. So if things that are bad are happening, it's because my mindset is shit that day. And that's why it's so dangerous. You got to fix your energy. So I read that so I can remember this morning, so I can be okay, this is important. I need to keep focused on this because if I don't, I'm going to go through just trying to grip the world by its throat, and that doesn't work. You've got to chill out. You got to trust God, and you got to keep moving forward. And then from there, that's really it. I mean, then I make breakfast, and then I write down my goals again to maintain the focus. Because if you don't write it down, what ends up happening is it's kind of like your screensaver on your phone, right? Or your backdrop or whatever you want to call it, right? You put something motivating on there and it's motivating for 10 days, but then after 100 days, it slips in your subconscious. And then you're you don't even see what's on your screen anymore. You don't even care. It's almost like your own tattoos. Or if you date someone with tattoos, or if you have a best friend that has tattoos, or your wife has tattoos, it's like you forget what they even are. You don't even see the actual tattoos anymore, which sounds crazy, but I know we've all been there. And that's how it is with your goals. And so that's a huge reason as to why you can set goals on January 1st. And if you don't write them down every day, many successful people have echoed this, but you will lose focus because we are humans, and especially these goals. These are goals that are going to be, they're going to take a long time to reach. You know what I mean? Like, a goal to help 100 people, like that's going to take a long time to reach. Or being an affectionate person, that's not someone that I typically am by myself. So, but you just have to take baby steps each and every day. But this helps you focus. It helped me be like, okay, this is what I'm working towards every day. This is who I want to be. Because the words on this screen right here are exactly who Michael Shear is in, basically 4 months from now. And so I'm going to speak it, I'm going to believe it, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm going to keep my mind on it. And then when I go throughout my day, I think, does this align with my goals? You can't do that if you forgot your shopping list. You can't. And then I started writing a journal probably 45 days ago. Every morning I'll just write literally whatever's on my mind. And don't pressure yourself. Like if you write 2 sentences, write 2 sentences. But I like to tell a little bit about how I'm feeling, like on days when I feel kind of down because I'm lonely. Just that's the thing. It's so important to get excited every day. It's so important to wake up centered on what you want to do. And that's why this routine all together, all of it, don't skip any of it. It's all parts of it. They get your mind right, drinking the water, making your bed, reading your devotional, a book, some sort of personal development book, reading your Bible, and then writing out a few tasks, knocking them out, writing down your goals so you can stay centered on it, and then a quick little journal entry. Literally takes 35-40 minutes. But then the rest of your day, you're going to kill it. So 40 minutes, is it worth the next 23 hours crushing? Absolutely. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you took some value from it. And that is going to be a wrap for today. That is my morning routine, all of it.